You like how these guys keep setting fires and putting them out? That feels like they should probably change that. They are bugged. They're just trying to continuously light fires. They can't because they put the fire out. Claw. What's going on here? Dwarves don't fight each other. Rhino called Claw a Flamingo. That would be a pretty bad insult for a dwarf, I suppose. Guys, chill out. I heard a bite. I don't want that. If I do those, I'm moving our food production over there. Moving our food production over there. Since I'm doing individual rooms, I'm going to need a lot of rooms, so... What does Cassandra mean? Cassandra is a storyteller, one of 3 baseline storytellers. She's like an extension of the difficulty. Started a new Mechanosaur run yesterday. Got attacked by one guy who knocked out your Constructoid. Constructoid created a masterwork bed. It's a work of art, portrayed the settlement being attacked. Your mech has trauma. It's pretty awesome. Hooray! Guys, our first vat baby dwarf, Rain Man, has reached his first growth point. All right, Rain Man. Hey! Wait a minute. That's... Pegleg Child's up. Ah, screw Pegleg Child. They're not a dwarf. All right, Rain Man. Let's see what our first Dwarven child gets. Melee, construction, social, plants. Tough! Easy pick. Easy pickup. Social, construction, plants. Oh, only 2 for him. We actually need another planter. Construction. All the dwarves are already good at construction, pretty much. Let's get another plant. Social is something that we really need. So social, plants, and tough. All right, Rain Man, look at you. Look at you, little guy. 6 social. Rain Man can now put out fires. Rain Man can't be a warden until he's 10 years old? Why can't my 6-year-old threaten people into slavery? All right, Pegleg Child is the one that had Abasia, right? This is the Abasia Child. What are you doing, Abasia Child? Oh my god, there's still a work zone down there. How dare you go to the place I allow you to go to? Get back home. Oh, we got lucky with the Abasia Child. They got Fast Walker, but they're a baseliner. So Hash Monkey will be getting to... Oh man, he's so close to growth tier 7. Hopefully he gets to growth tier 7. Do you not need lights in bedrooms? You do not. Nope. Mood doesn't change while they're sleeping. So the debuff for being in the dark while they're sleeping does nothing. So you don't need lights in bedrooms unless you're doing something else in those bedrooms, like eating at a table or something. Now, that's true. If you are tending to someone, you want that place to be lit. But if they're just sleeping, if they're literally just sleeping, they don't need light where they're sleeping. But you definitely want light where you're tending to people. Be your preferred farming input for a biofuel refinery. It's just whatever I'm overproducing, yeah. So I usually just use whatever the crop is I'm overproducing. Now, if you're on a map with lots of wood, wood is a really great one to use. But yeah, it's just whatever I'm overproducing in that run, which usually ends up being mushrooms or rice. But yeah, wood is a good option, especially if you're on somewhere like a tropical tile, swamp. You know, even temperate forest, if you're not using wood in a lot of other ways, like you're not using wood for a lot of traps over and over. So, do you bother spending the time crafting higher quality beds? I do. Yeah. About mid-game, I try to get everyone to an excellent bed or better. Higher quality beds, less time sleeping. Yeah. Things really change at excellent as well. So, excellent with one thing attached to the bed kind of caps out. If you're looking for like comfort increase, but for actual like rest recovery rate, then yeah, masterwork is where things really get super good. So getting excellent or better beds is good, is very good, not just for comfort. Yeah. Let's check on Cassandra here. So Cassandra is off cooldown. She'll be able to attack us with a raid similar size to that last one we got. I think I need to bring this down like I was talking about earlier. All right. Can't wait to see what Hash Monkey gets now. Hash Monkey did make it to growth tier 7. He's pretty close to growth tier 8. He might get there right before he almost said leveled up, right before he grows up. Hey, you're not supposed to be out there. Get inside, Pegleg Child. 3 years later. Smoke leaf binge on this 10-year-old girl? All right, there's a little trick to this. Is there only 2 smoke leaf joints? We're just gonna let her do it. I probably shouldn't, but I am. There she goes. 10 years old. The joint is bigger than her entire body. There she goes. She smoked all the smoke leaf joints. Do you have to worry about temperature in caves and building your colony? You do, yeah. It can get pretty cool in there. We actually was getting, had people getting frostbite earlier and I had to build the heaters. I think that and any additional like fungus can just be done here. I think that'll be about all we need for planting, even later on. So I think I can go ahead and make the bug trap over here. We can always push it further if we need to. Where's all my smoke leaf? A 10-year-old girl definitely didn't smoke at all. Bait room isn't perfect. No, it's not, but it is a pretty high percent. If I really want the bait room to work almost always, I would put it way, way, way over here. But that would be a long way to light it on fire. I could just have it self-sufficient with an IED, I guess. I usually don't do that, but could do it. Of course, I do want some of the bug meat and stuff, so we'll probably just fight the infestations for a while. All right, let's see. 5 days on that. Rom nom. Back up to 81 already. Down to 69%. Nice. Is there a guide to making a good classroom for children? Not really, but you don't really... All you need is a desk and 3 blackboards connected to it, and you've pretty much made them a good one. 3 blackboards connected to a desk. Put some chairs there for some extra comfort. There you go, a raid. All right, what is it? Scatter drop, attacking immediately. Okay. Childs. Grab that shotgun. Oh, wait, grab that shotgun. Okay, what kind? Oh, there's a lot already dropping nearby. Okay. All these children with shotguns. Good lord. Oh, my lord. I'm okay if our shield belt breaks here, but I don't want... We gotta keep an eye... Well... That's so dumb that they do that. Anyway, I gotta keep an eye on if the enemies have any low shields. What are those little kids back there? Just waiting. Just waiting. Menace company. Kids barely bigger than the EP grenades. You like how these guys keep setting fires and putting them out? That feels like they should probably change that. What? The boar attack? I'm gonna have to double wall the power conduit because Itakin boar hit power conduits through the wall. They are bugged. They're just trying to continuously light fires. They can't because they put the fire out. Guys, come on. Can boars go over barricades? I don't think they can, actually. I think that's probably what's going on. I think boar, or I'll have to check. I think boar is stopped by barricades. I think that's probably an oversight. That's what's going on. Boars can't cross barricades. And so the boar is like, I don't have a path into the base. I know it's an intentional choice. I'm talking about it might be an oversight from the developers as far as the Itakin boar soldiers not being able to interact with it. Growth moment for Hash Monkey. Nice. Good timing. Guys, you can't set them on fire. Now, you were asking about new meta. Here's the new meta. This is the new meta. You have it where they just try to set things on fire forever. And they eventually starve to death. I don't know. Yes, he has a triple rocket launcher, yeah. Wait till they hear how good we did back home. Goats coming to insult peg leg child. That's the best person for you to insult, goat. Way to go. Guys, come on. Child, I will melee you. We're gonna have a friggin' breakdown. Lots of breakdowns. They're stuck. They don't hate it. They're stuck in a loop of trying to set things on fire and they can't because they put a foam popper on it. So I guess I'll just get rid of this. Doesn't happen anymore. There, they gave up. See ya. Really silly. Really silly. So with the Itakin, we're probably gonna have to use the pillar one. So that doesn't happen. Man, I don't want to accidentally kill that child. It's like I really feel like if I melee them, they're just gonna die. But boy, is it causing a lot of issues right now. You're starving to death. I'm not gonna eat food. I have too many people to insult. Guys, man, you're gonna get beat up, little goat. So ridiculous how high it stacks. Like, this guy's gonna sit in his prison, and for like multiple days, for 2 days, he's gonna sit there thinking about this 7-year-old that insulted him. All right, let's see what Hash Monkey's growth is here. I don't need any more brawlers. Man, I don't want any of those, really. What does childcare get you? It gets you more selection for more passions and more options on your traits, yeah. I guess we'll go with pretty, medical, social. Not exactly what I wanted, but... Oh my god, Muzz. These children are out here in the forest beating each other to death. Rayman's coming to watch. We're not even allowed to go out here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Did you see that? I saw that. There's literally one dot out there they can go to. That was to pick something up in the early game. Teenage Fight Club. Prepubescent Fight Club. Let's take this outside. And they did. Exhaustion on goats. Yeah, I wonder why. Do I just eat my food too quickly for it to spoil? Yes. Hardly ever use a fridge or freezer. So we probably will in the long run. Like, we need a lot of people because fungus actually deteriorates at 30 days to 40 or 60 like the other crops. But I think I'm going to go ahead and start working on this next section of this, even though we're not going to use it quite yet. Gotta make sure I just don't connect it all the way because I don't want raids to be able to circumvent our current setup. But making packaging survivor meals is getting the second ingredient. That's too much work. I prefer Pemmican, even on non-tribal ones, to package survivor meals for a couple reasons. So how I have it set up for anyone that wasn't here is basically I make however many simple meals I need and stop at that limit, and then I have it set for only meat and animal products. That way the stuff that deteriorates first gets cooked first. And then I have a second one set up that is all that plus vegetables. So then it goes into that. And then I have a third one set up that if we have capped on everything and there's still meat that needs used before it's going to rot, then we turn into Pemmican. The good thing about Pemmican is that they can eat only the amount of it that they need. So for anyone that doesn't know, meals actually overcap your hunger. It's more nutrition than you need on a normal pond. But Pemmican, they can eat the exact amount that they need, kind of like with raw food. So Pemmican is pretty efficient in that way. It just takes a long time for it to make. What does the right side turret do? It causes collision. I have a guide about it. It causes collision. Pemmican high value wealth-wise? I don't think it's that high well. I mean, well, I'm comparing it to like packaged survival meals, you know, so don't get the boob off like nice meals. Well, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, in this kind of run where we're gonna have fungus only, we'll end up doing a fridge at some point. Not super important right now, but it's harder to get it perfect with this because fungus rots in 30 instead of 40 or 60 days, so you have less time on that setup that I usually use. Down to 69% again. Someday Ramnam will come over to our Dwarven religion. Yeah, I do that quite a bit too in the late game. It's also going to be weird to like readjust. So last time I did a few mountain bases recently, but it was before biotech. So now that all of our people are eating more, we need it for like the vats and everything. Like there's going to be, it's going to be weird to try to figure out exactly how much to grow now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about 20 dwarves, yeah. But I do think once our food gets back up again, I'm going to start putting some more children in vats, you know. Drugs! We're researching drugs! When's our next child growing up anyway? Muzz is 2 years off. Lumberjack's 2 years off. 5 for 3. Well, not really years, you know, seasons, whatever, but... Alright, how close are we on this? Alright, it's ready. It's ready. Come on. You can actually increase this another 1.1%. Nah, it's okay. Come on, Ramnam. Masterful. Ramnam, please. Please, Ramnam. You're ruining our colony with your happy-go-lucky, iron-willed attitude. Masterful, 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 please. Effective 45. That's as low as we've ever seen them as 45. We're actually getting low on food again. Now that I've switched the fungus over there. I had a feeling that would happen, especially no longer growing that, but it's gonna be good in the long run. Just gotta make sure. I might just release that prisoner right now. Let's just do it. Just release them. They're just costing us food, and we're not ready to go into Royal anyway. All right, the prisoner's gone. Not eating our food anymore. I like the dance party more, but prefer tribal starts. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, also the dance party and the drum festival are actually kind of the best festival. I mean, that's subjective, really, but they also, if you haven't looked, they can give you a work speed boost as well. So they can give you the mood, whatever your reward is, and a work speed boost, which is kind of crazy. So we could start having the kid do some harvesting, but he's gonna like, let's have him do some growing, but not harvesting. Otherwise, he's gonna botch so many of these. Right now, every mushroom is very important. Bad when you try doing mountain bases. We've had like 4, maybe it's 3. I don't know. We had 3 or 4 infestations. I actually would prefer the infestation over mech raids. What I'm surprised about is we haven't had a mech cluster. That's what I'm surprised about. Literally no mech cluster. I can't even remember the last time. Like how we not had a mech cluster. We've gone through 2 years. Cannot remember the last time that's happened. Another Abasia. Ugh. What's that tortoise doing to that? 29-year-old baseliner capable of violence. Really do not want them. I'm not supposed to do any sacrifices either. I'm actually gonna, oh, man, I shouldn't do, I'm gonna reject it. There's a trick that I could go out there and make this not impact us at all, but I'm not gonna do it. Even though I know how to do it, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna reject them. What's the trick? If you go out, if you see someone that has Abasia, see how they're on the map still? If you go out there before you click anything on the menu and you just kill them, you don't get any downside. There's no downside. It doesn't count as like abandoning them. It doesn't count as banishing them. It doesn't count as killing a colonist or colonist dying. I mean, if they're a relative, obviously you'll get a downside for the person's relative dying. But if you have the Abasia menu up and you don't select anything, you postpone it and you just go kill them where they're laying, don't worry about that. Not any of that. But Adam, that's cruel. Welcome to RimWorlds. Gene modding for a normal save looks like an ultra late game thing. You can actually get into gene modding relatively early, so it's not a super, and they made it a little bit faster too. So you can actually get the base gene stuff right after electricity, so not too far in. Like the archite genes, obviously that's going to be like a later thing, but as far as just normal genes, they've made it a little bit faster. Not only can you get it just right after electricity, it shows 2000 because I'm tribal, it's usually faster, but also they reduce the time it takes to harvest a gene to 12 hours instead of 24, so even that's faster. And genes now grow back faster as well. There's a hot fix for both of those things. So I think genes, you know, getting some of them going early is relatively viable. Now, creating like superhumans is yeah, like ultra late game, I would say. Ever use tool cabinets? I do, yep, every single run. Usually the time I add tool cabinets is when we get to fabrication. Usually wait till fabrication. And then I put my fabrication benches down, I put the tool benches down, and I put the other crafting stuff nearby. Yesterday was a lot of trying to get Romnom converted, which has been very hard. They are a high mate and they're super happy. We could possibly imprison them, but the downside to that is, well, there's a couple downsides, but the biggest one is the fact that we don't have anyone else that's good at social, so they would probably convert the person going in to try to convert them, as has happened before in some of my playthroughs. So yeah, it just is what it is. We're also starting to run low on food again, so we're planting a bunch of mushrooms, and we're getting moved over. We're getting the base moved over into a more permanent setup. So I'm also getting the second part of the chain shotgun tunnel ready to go here, and we're gonna get a turret probably here, just to pull some aggro. I'll talk about that later. Yeah, that'll be fine. And we're gonna have the turret off most of the time anyway. And I meant to shut these doors after we were done in that last fight. So let's go ahead and do that before I forget. Muppets have front-facing eyes. They are predators. That's right. They are predators. Kermit is the biggest predator of all. Seen that guy? Dwarf. So Cassandra is about to come off cooldown. She's probably right about, yeah, she's right at the end of her cooldown. So gotta just be a little bit careful. Did low shields get changed? They did. They got super nerfed. So low shields got super nerfed in 1.4. So in 1.4, they got changed to where they no longer block explosives. So the explosions go through. So basically, I used a lot of low shields before to protect me from doomsday rockets. Now, if your low shield gets hit with doomsday rocket, your people inside are still going to die. So like you have the low shield, your people are inside shooting out of it. Doomsday rocket hits the low shield and it doesn't absorb it. It explodes onto it and the explosion goes through the low shield. So basically low shields are no longer a stand inside of and not worry about explosives things. They are still a stand inside and don't worry about bullets, but you know, which is still good, but nowhere near what it was before. All right, mushrooms coming in at a good time. We're gonna see what the next Cassandra hit is, and then we're going to work on getting this changed around. P music's imbalanced, yeah. It increases the player's mood, which makes them play better. And I want to actually do something down here. I want to see how much thin rock roof is there. It actually looks like a fair amount. Let's take a look at this. Is smoothing walls better than making stone walls? Yes. Smooth walls only cost 1 wealth per smooth walls. So it's way less wealth. Plus you get all the benefit of having, you know, a wall, a normal, all the normal benefits as well. Smooth floor does count towards your wealth though, a lot. So I do have a wealth guide. It tells you what all the different types of walls of every material give you. It tells you what, you know, different floors and smooth floors give you. Smooth floors are nice for the beauty, and of course they increase your move speed just like any other floor. The downside is that they actually do add for wealth, but smooth floors don't use resources. They take longer to construct, and the wealth is permanent unless you cover it up with another floor at some point. Enemies can drop pod here, they can, but for now, I'm gonna end up covering it up. I really need to get some barrels. Also, man, I need a spot for drop pods. I need to get ground penetrating scanners going. Unfortunately, I was hoping to open up enough space there for ground penetrating scanner. Not the case. We can fire a couple mortars from there though, so that's nice. Is that deep water? It is, yeah, it's ocean water actually. This is a coast, so I don't have to worry about anything walking in from there unless it drop pods here, which should be okay. We can take care of that if that happens. Looks like we can get a ground scanner there. That's pretty far down, but all right. So I think we can actually fit this down here, which is gonna be, it's gonna be weird. I wonder if, we can fit 2 of them. 2 of them. What a weird place to put that. Are lavish meals worth it? Lavish meals for me are, and even fine meals, I use them more like a drug. So lavish meals can be a mood drug type tool, basically. So if you have some kind of problem, a mood problem in your colony, let's say you just had a bunch of deaths and you have like a high psychic drone or something like that, and you have extra food, make some lavish meals. I use them like a mood drug, and I think that's probably their best use. I mean, you know, play however you want, but if you're trying to min-max-ish, then yeah, using them in that sort of regard is a good way to go. Now that we are overproducing mushrooms again, we'll probably go back into making some vat baby dwarves. So I'm glad we found that area. We need to get some barrels. I'd like to get at least 2 barrels. Food binge on peg leg child. Whatever, peg leg child. Extract the ovum. Why do I usually go with a mega room? Because it's the best thing. It's literally it's the strongest thing. I usually play barracks because I play high population, and barracks is so much better, especially at high population. Does room cleanliness affect? Oh, immunity gain speed? Is that what you're asking? I think it shows in here now, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. There we go. So the things that impact immunity gain speed on the pawn are listed here. You can always go in there. And then, of course, the bed quality and stuff like that. So genes, their actual health, if they're well fed, if they're rested in a bed, resting, have a multiplier for age. And then the bed gives a multiplier as well. Now for like tin quality, the cleanliness of the room does matter for sure, yeah. My favorite non-custom xenotype? I don't know, like, you know what, surprisingly? I think my most sought after on a normal playthrough where we play as baseliners is 1 genie for crafting. So surprisingly, when I saw the genies, I was like, I don't really want very, and it's true I don't really want a lot of them, but man, genies as crafters are absolute gods. Yeah, and actually like the, I didn't think I would, but the high mates, at least having a couple of those is really good too. 8-year-old genie child has 18 crafting. Yeah, that's nuts. No. What accent do your doors most sound like? What kind of dwarves do we have this time? I don't know. What do you guys think? Dwarves talking insults and accents. The Scottish dwarves, as is tradition. All right, Who's next? It's Rhino's turn. Extract that ovum. Take one colony to completion, another halfway through, so I've gotten 0 high mates. And this one, so you mainly get the high mates from slavers and settlements. So you mainly get them from places that sell slaves. But the high mate from this one actually came as a, I think it was Abasia. It was an Abasia event early game. Oh, plague. Oh, plague. And that's what I was afraid of. Attacking immediately. Oh my god, our raids are getting big, guys. Our raids are getting big. Cougar Revenge. Nice. Unfortunately, Rhino's down too. Plague's gonna have to wait. Plague's gonna have to wait. Alright, we got low shields. I'm not seeing any low shields. Raid's getting big. Oh, I wish Rhino was up. We might need that repair. Sloth can repair between... We gotta replace that. Is there gonna be friendly fire with shotguns? There is not. This is the limit that we won't get friendly fire in this setup. Alright, so back to the plague people. Plague on claw, so Rom, you need to get that tended. Claws tended. So Cassandra can attack again almost immediately. I forgot I had those extra doors. I gotta remember those now. Gotta remember those ones. We built those ones at the end of stream yesterday. Okay, so that plague is down. Plague. Plague. Alright. Alright. Have your kids doing corpse disposal? Yeah, why not? Builds character. All right, there's a couple things going on here with this one specifically. So the friendly fire guide will answer a lot of it. So these ones can't give friendly fire anyway. It's just impossible. Technically, the ones back here could give friendly fire, but in this setup, because of the peeking mechanic, the peeking around cover, they in practice don't hit. If you go one tile further, like if I shoot from here, suddenly then we can hit. If we ever need to do that though, we do have shield belts on the front line just in case. But in this setup, as long as we don't go back more than 4 deep, we won't get friendly fire. And again, I have a short friendly fire guide to make it so you never get friendly fired again. What's our wealth at? I guess our wealth is like 70 to 80. Hey, look at that, 80,000 wealth. Want me to use joy wire or never sleeping head stuff? Joy wires are very dangerous because of the minus 30%, and same thing with the sleep thing. Conscious is very important. So for me, I wouldn't use those other than like if I'm making a happiness potato, a happiness beacon to walk around with a psychic harmonizer, or you know, a pawn maybe like Romnom here who is incapable of violence and is just sitting back doing research and stuff all the time. Pawns like that. Pawns where conscious isn't going to matter as much. Conscious is a very important stat in the game, so you have to be really careful. That's right. Happiness potato. You might be asking yourself, what's a happiness potato? Well, that's someone that is very, very happy for whatever reason, joy wires, etc. You put the psychic harmonizer for royalty in there, so they're a beacon of mood increasing around the colony. And if you want, you can chop their legs off and carry them around to wherever you need the mood the best.